What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Presented by Scott Credit Union. Yours.
Why is my mic muted? Oh, it's a Bluenote Fan Report. Hey, everyone, how is everyone doing out there in Bluenote Fan Report land? I know it's been a minute or two since you've seen me. I think Justin's going to pop along. It sounded like he was. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll get there. I wanted to come on. I wanted to come on and just talk a little bit. We got a couple things coming up and tomorrow. The gold medal game. And this is the gold medal game everyone wanted. This is it. Plain and simple. It's the gold medal game everyone wanted. I mean, it's like, why do we even play it out? This is what it should have been to begin with. And it's USA versus Canada. Canada's going for their 10th gold medal. The USA is going for their 3rd. In this tournament, I got to say, I think the USA has played better than Canada. Canada has played well, but the level of competition seemed a little low. In the the quarterfinals, all three of the 4 went to overtime, right? And the three medal winners were all in overtime, all of them in overtime. So that was pretty cool. It's gonna be a fun. Hey man, 22 people watching. Well, wow! I don't know how the hell this happened. Thank you. I'm really looking forward. Now, I've heard some of you guys out there are complaining, and I don't know if it's you, but I've heard some on Facebook and seen this. People complaining about the 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. start time. Okay. Guess what time I have to watch the game? Anybody know? Anybody think they know? Right? Anybody know? We'll go with this. Stephen Glass is hard to bet against Bennington in a big game. We got a hi. Hi, how are you? I don't know who that is. Canada hands us our butts narrowly 3-2 in overtime. That's not handing us our butts though, Chris. Emerson says hi. I am doing great. Thank you. You're close, Aaron. Close game for sure. It's 3 a.m. I'm 4 hours behind St. Louis time. 3 a.m. Right? 3 a.m. So yeah, it's kind of early. Stephen Glass, our announce. Thank you. Dustin said he was drinking earlier, so maybe he's not there. Yeah, you were close, bud. You were close, Aaron. 3 a.m. Is what it is. I think it's going to be a good game. I really do. It's going to come down to goaltending. It really is. It's going to straight come down to goaltending, right? And then look at the USA women. The USA women went 7-0 and had their goals against their GAA, right? I don't even know how to figure out their GAA. I mean, well, it's a little off because of the overtime, but it's close to, let's just kind of, let me give a guess here. I'm going to be close. I'm not going to be dead on it, but I'm going to be close. GAA was something around 0.28, right? 0.28, 0.3. That was their GAA. They gave up 2 goals 2 goals in 7 games. Ah, amazing. Stephen Glass says on paper, Canada is a better team, but I think you guys have a great chance as they have played better. I will agree with that to a point, right? What did you think about Devo? He had a heck of an Olympic performance. Yes, he did. And I have had our buddy Dante's Inferno talking to me a little bit about this, about what Devo, about the breakout Devo just had. Like what this is going to be for his Blues career. And I think it's going to be one of those things that elevates his Blues career, right? He just got some really, really good competition, right? Playing against the best of the best. And I think he did well. And you know, let's see what happens. Let's see. New York is allowing alcohol sales at 6 a.m. for the gold medal game, except in New York City. How did we arrive at the price, at that price schedule? I'm not sure what you mean there, Chris. This USA team is the best they've ever had. I think you might be right. I don't think it's the best they ever had. I think the original one that went to Nagano was the best they ever had. But those guys, they didn't care. They were drinking. They were enjoying Japan. But yeah, I'm nervous on this game. You know, it's a game, Chris. Just let it have fun. Just speaking of the future, do you think his emergence will make it easier to move on? No, I don't think. Why move on from Robert Thomas? Why move on? I don't understand that. Now we'll get into this. We're going to talk gold medal game, then we'll talk some of these rumors. That's the one I don't get at all, right? Stephen Glass says, who is playing with? Let's get them on our team. Yeah, I didn't see who he was all playing with, but there was. I watched some of it. I didn't watch all of it. I watched some of it. The timing and all that just made it kind of hard for me. But I got to watch some of it and pay attention to it and all that. It came down to, you know, what gold medal game do you want? And I want to get back to the women's game for a second. They just proved, man, if the NHL loaded anything, that is how you play 3-on-3 hockey. That is how you play 3-on-3 overtime. There was none of this taking it back. That was aggressive. It was up front. And that move to win the game. Oh, my goodness. Great pass. She got the puck, got it in, got it out, got it in. Just amazing, right? But it shows you what 3-on-3 is supposed to be. And that's where it should go, right? That's where it should go. How many Blues are on Team Canada? 2. Bennington and Parayko. Both of them have good Olympics. Parayko hasn't been on the score sheet, but he's been viable. Bennington's only given up a couple of goals. I mean, Bennington has not been bad. He's been good, right? Her move was clean. Yeah, it was just beautiful. Oh, the thing, and I saw something from Canada fans earlier in the game. There was a breakaway, and they were claiming that was a hook. That was, if you want to teach a kid, if you're going to teach kids how to stick lift, that's the video you use. That is absolutely 1,000,000,000% the video you use. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was the best. Originally I didn't completely see it, but when they went back and said, oh my goodness, what a stick lift. What a stick lift. What a stick lift. It was absolutely amazing. I was, you know, the women just showed how to do it, right? Now, the men, we've got a good team. And what we've got probably, so Richard, you know, said that, and I'll get to your question. I'm going to talk about the gold medal game first, Richard. So I'll try and remember to come back to it. That this is the best team that USA, I don't think it's the best. I really do think that the Nagano team, and I don't have the roster for Nagano, but if you look at that roster, oh my goodness, that was a hell of a roster. Okay, those guys, They didn't want to be there. That was all there was to it. But I think we have the grittiest team that we've had since 1980, right? I really do think that we have a gritty team, and the grittiest that we had since 1980. I do think that the men can win it. I do think the USA men can win it. I do think it could go down to a Four Nations overtime. We'll see, right? It's going to come down to goaltending. The women's getting the funny part. Canada had that one, and the USA took it away from them. Oh yeah, they did. It was 1-0 until late in the third. I think they had the goaltender pull and get a tip in. Canada did have that one, and those women did not give up. They did not give up. They played incredible. My oldest daughter is into women's hockey now, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. She's going to see the Blues play the Kings in April, and I hope she has a lot of fun doing that. Right now, it's just we sit back and let's see what happens. Right, we enjoy the moment because this is what we wanted. Now, I'm going to try. I'm going to sit down in the next day or two and try and sit down and write what I think is the way to save the NHL's All-Star game, All-Star weekend, whatever you want to call it. Because I think the blueprint is there, and they just don't. They just got to do it right. And the way I would do it is a 4-year rotation. All right. So year one is an Olympic year. Okay, you play the Olympics. Okay, great. We all love that. 2-week break for the Olympics. And we'll talk in the break. First of all, for the break, you got to move the season back to October 1st. It's got to start the beginning of October. That not starting till the 4th to the 5th. You're losing that 4 or 5 days that you're losing is huge. You got to start on the 1st, right? You have to start on the 1st. And the fact that you're taking away some preseason games, you took 2 preseason games and ran them, I think you can do that easier now. I really do. I think that the NHL needs to adopt more of a NFL way to, well, I don't know, used to have 4 games. I don't know if they still have 4. I think they only have 3. But they used to be 4, and the 3rd game was the one that was your starters. And then the 4th game, starters played 1 series, and then it was the guys trying, the last chance to get a job, right? That's who it was. The 2nd and 3rd stringers, the guys that needed to prove that they belonged on the team. I think the NHL needs to go to some pattern of that, to be honest with you, right? A little too much emphasis on prospects. I think that's got to pull back a little bit. I really do. And I think you use the prospect game for that. And you pull back on the prospects and you get your regular season guys ready to go. That's what I think you should be, right? I know me and Justin disagree with that. I do not watch a lot of NFL. I watch some. I mean, I haven't followed the league since the Rams left. And I pay attention to the playoffs. I pay attention to Super Bowl some, but I haven't watched in a while. So just letting you know there, bud. Hi, Jason. Right? So year 1, Olympics. Year 2 is an all-star game. And we'll talk about that. I'm going to do it a little bit different. Okay? Year 3 is a 4-nation or a 6-nation round-robin tournament, something similar to the Olympics, but with only NHL players. And then year 4 is an under 25 and under all-star game. Now, the way I do the all-star game, you go back. It is not 1 game. It's actually 7 games, I think, maybe a little more, right? So the way I would do it is each division gets, now I think now it's like 9 guys. You're going to increase that to 14. 14 guys, 3 goalies, and the rest are skaters, right? So 11 skaters, including defense and all that. You play a 3-on-3 tournament where you play every other division. So you play 3 games. And at the end of that, right, on Sunday, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either have a 1v4, 2v3, and then a championship game. Or you can just do in the morning early the skills competition and then 1 and 2. Right? I like the 1v4 and then doing the skills competition, actually breaking the skills competition up and doing it pieces of it each day. I like that, right? I think that would be cool, doing pieces of it each day. But this way, if you have a whole weekend, right? And you play 10-minute halves, right? You play the 10 minutes and you have a 30-minute break, bring an entertainer out for that. And then you got enough of a break. So one team would play 2 games on one day and a couple teams would play 2 games on one day and the other team would play 2 games on the other day. But it would be a lot of fun and it would give us more of what we want. And it might get your better players to play, to want to do more in this because it's tournament style. It's not one and done. It's not get out of here, right? And then, that off year when you're using the under 20, you get your kids, like almost like an AHL, and you do the same way. Oh, wow. I know that the PWHL is looking to expand. I think they're looking at bigger cities first, but St. Louis could be on that list. I know at least one of the players was from St. Louis on the women's team. But I know St. Louis has a really good hockey culture. I can't stand 3-on-3 in an all-star game. It doesn't represent how hockey is really played. They're misrepresenting their sport to casual fans. I disagree with that, right? I disagree with that. The 5-on-5 game just didn't work anymore because what it became was the NBA all-star game. Where, in the NBA, no one plays defense. They just throw can we score 200 points a game? Can we score, 200 points each, 400 points total? Can we score 400 points? 200 and 200. That's what it's become, and that's not fun to watch. That's not representative of the game either. The MLB All-Star game, that's not representative of the game. I mean, your starters play maybe 2 innings. Hell, by the time the game's over, your starters have already left. They're showered, changed, and gone. So that doesn't do it. The NFL, they play flag football. So, so at that point, what you're trying to do is bring excitement. And that's why I disagree. I think that think about the tournament style. What made the 4 Nations great? What made 4 Nations great? And I don't think it was what everybody thinks it was. All right? And it's the same thing that makes the Olympics great. It was the tournament. It was more than just one thing. It was a tournament. And you look at 4 Nations, that was more players than you've ever had in an all-star game. You had 4 full teams. Right? I would play something along that. Oh, well, Steve, the reason that's not exciting is the NHL's got to get it back to what. Look at the women's 3-on-3. Tell me that wasn't exciting. Tell me the women's 3-on-3 was not absolutely riveting the entire time. Right? Tell me it wasn't. You want to come on, Steve? Oh, I don't know what time it is there. You may not be able to. But, yeah, it was riveting. That's the way it's supposed to be. Right? You got to get back to, you got to get it to that. You got to get that, that thought process of puck control away. You got to do something that keeps them moving forward. I get it's only overtime, but the 5-on-5 doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. Right? It becomes the NBA All-Star game. I mean, the score is what? Like, I think the last time they did it, It was like 14-12 or something like that. Right? 14-12. I mean, that's not hockey either, is it? So by creating a tournament, I'm telling you, that excitement comes. I really do. Oh man, I don't. All it is a score fest, right? No defense, just dunk the ball. How many times can we dunk the? It's a slam dunk contest. It's all it is. It's a slam dunk contest. So that's not for me. I mean, like I said, none of them are together. I do think that if Steven, just think about this: the tournament style, 3-on-3 tournament style. Well, wait a minute. Then stop. But see, you just complained, Steve, that it's not representative of the game. That 3-on-3 is not representative. Well, the NBA All-Star slam dunk game isn't representative of the NBA either. So why is it okay for the NBA to do something that's not representative, but the NHL not? Then go 4-on-4. Go 4-on-4. Three forwards and a defenseman. Go 4-on-4. But 5-on-5 doesn't work because, again, it's too many players. It'll be at 3 a.m. and yeah, I want to watch it. I might take a nap, go lay down, a little bit. I'm not going to stay on much longer. I thought Justin was going to be here. I guess he drank more than he thought, and that's cool. No issue. So what I want to get now, so that's I talked about that, right? Now let's talk about the Blues and what's going on, right? Let's talk about the Blues and what's going on. A lot of trade rumors. Everybody wants to get rid of everybody. I do not touch the core, right? I don't think the core is a problem, right? I do think, and I love Montgomery, I do think Montgomery's got to adjust something. I don't think that's happening, bud. I do not think. Are you willing to give up the price, to pay the price? And the price is probably 4 first, the equivalent. I always get choked. I always get nailed on this. The equivalent of 4 first-round draft picks. I mean, you're talking about giving up a first this year. You're talking about giving up a player, a young high-end player, and 2 heavy like prospects that were first round or maybe high second rounds in the last 2 years, right? And to me, I don't think I don't think you do it, right? And Kyrie's got a good contract as far as this goes, especially as the cap goes up. But and I do think Kyrie needs a change of scenery. I will say that. But I also think that Montgomery needs to shield him a little bit from the media and the fan perspective. Because St. Louis media does not like Jordan Kyrou at all. And there's nothing Jordan Kyrou is ever going to do. There is nothing Jordan Kyrou is ever going to do that's going to endear himself to St. Louis media. Right? Or to the fans. Believe it or not, there is nothing he's going to do that's going to endear himself to the fans. Absolutely nothing. Right? Hold on. What's Isles saying? It's a hasty move for me. I like the cards the Isles got on the deck this year for the Blues. Sucked right off the bat. Yeah, I don't know why they shouldn't have. Just for something. I think that the hangover from last season just never went away. Right? And that's the way I think there. To me, Thomas is a no-go, but Kyrou is possible. I have a feeling nothing will happen with those 2 players. I don't think so either, right? I seen something about Thomas and Benner. I saw that too. There was no way Armstrong makes that call. None. Zero. Right? Cairo been a whipping boy, yeah. He took Zach Sanford's place. Cairo could have had 100-point season, and then they'd still be bringing up. Oh yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree, Aaron. Right? No, the Blues should have been one of the top teams in the league, and something happened. They just never got it together. Right? Just never got it together. And you know, I don't think they make a run. I think even to make a run, they'll fall short. Now, I do think Justin Falk's going to get traded. I do think Shen might get traded. I do think Bennington gets traded. Buchnevich, no, he just signed a big contract. You know, that's going to be harder to trade Buchnevich. Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't see it. So you got to look at something. If you're giving up Bennington, something you have to get in return is a veteran backup goalie. You have to. You still need that veteran presence for Hoffer. Hoffer's doing well. Well, we're getting younger on D. We are getting younger on D. We're starting to see some better D, right? We have Broberg. Broberg played really well. Suter played well in the Olympics. We had 5 players in the Olympics, right? Wins the gold. The Blues would be smart to trade him. I don't even think that he needs to win the gold. I think right now, see, here's the thing. Fans, no, you got Broberg, who's the other kid we got? We got from Montreal last year. His name is escaping me. And then we've got another one in the minors. Tucker's a third pairing. Tucker and Kessel are third pairing guys. But we've got Broberg and somebody help me out with the other guy. The one Mayu. There we go. Yeah, I got it out just in time. And Mayu. Now let's get back. You guys are getting me out. So with Bennington, the only ones that see Bennington's stock as low as it is fans. Because I guarantee you the NHL doesn't. I guarantee you scouts don't. I guarantee you scouts see everything. Justin, and I'm not calling him out here, I'm just saying that he likes to bring the stat up. He likes to bring up the goals above expected. I don't like that stat. I don't follow that stat. I don't even look at that stat because it's a numbers stat. It's it's something somebody made up, and it doesn't tell the full story. It's a set of numbers that may not tell the full story. And that's why I don't bring it up, right? Oh, I got a couple more. Here we go. Zach Schmidt, John Jeffries, Jason Nichols, Stephen Glass, and Aaron Nels. Thank you. I know it's a late show. I know it's like 11 o'clock, 11:30 in Midwest, and midnight plus on the East Coast, and 9:30, and the game's early, and everyone. I just needed to do this. I haven't been out there for a while. I just needed to do this. Steven says, I agree, Guy. I think teams who are in contention will want Bennington because of his big game nature, and that's part of it. But again, if a team needs a goalie, right? If a team absolutely needs a goalie to take that next step, Bennington's the guy. The problem is what you got to give up to get him. What do you have to give up to get him? And that's going to be the question, right? Because where we think his price is low, I guarantee the NHL's price is way higher, right? I said this out. I talked to my fantasy league. I still say Bennington's worth the equivalent of 3 first-round draft picks plus a backup goalie. I think that's what he's worth. And I don't think I'm far off. No. You need more than that. Nah, a vet goalie and a pick. No, you need more than that. No, I'm not letting Bennett go for that. No, 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 no. Hey, Sister JJ. Yeah, no. I just wanted to come on for a little bit, talk for a little bit. I'm not going to stay much longer. Just wanted to come on, give you guys. I haven't been on in a while. Give you guys something to watch. Right? That's what this is. Give you guys something to watch. Get ready. At the minimum, I know minimum. That's too low for me. Even at a minimum, that's too low. But that's way too low. First of all, you got to look at where that first round pick could possibly be. Right? That first round pick. Now remember, the team that's going after Bennington is trying to get in the top four in the conference finals. Conference finals, that's the last four picks. 28 or 29, 30, 31, 32. 29, 30, 31, 32. That's not. Now, the last time the Blues picked in that area, anybody remember what they got? The last time the Blues picked in those four picks, does anybody remember what they got? I'm dead certain of this. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up, but I'm dead certain that the last time the Blues picked in that area, that four-pick area, right? In that four-pick area, I think this is the last guy we got. And I'm trying to pull it up. You got to give me a second. I'm pulling it up. I want to make sure, but I'm pretty sure on this. Surprised no one's spit it out yet. And I'm almost dead certain that I got this right. Like, I'm 99% certain I got this right. This is picks 29, 30, 31, 32, right? Actually, no, I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. There was one other pick in there that this guy's a to be determined guy, right? That was Theo Lindstein, the defenseman, and he's coming up. So he's the to be, but there's somebody else that we got in that area, right? And I'm double checking it now just to make sure. Right, just to make sure. Yes, it is the player I thought. The last time we had a pick in that area, not counting the one I just talked about, Lindstein, at number 31, the last pick in the first round, we got Clem Costin. Now, at the time, I thought that was a hell of a pick. We gave up Ryan Reeves, Penguins, right? Thought that was a hell of a pick. I was okay with it. Costin did not turn out to be that guy. Okay, he had everything. He turned out to kind of be a bust, right? But just looking in that range, that's the guys. And now, if you're going to get something in the mid-20s, I'm much more for that. Clem Costin did not do well with the Blues at all. Did not do well with them at all. Right? His numbers with the Blues are utterly disgusting. Right? Here, it's the same year we got Robert Thomas. Right? It's the same year. Costin has 190 games played. Right? 25 goals, 28 assists, 53 points, -9, 169. He's not even in the league right now. Not even in the league right now. Right? I just think that the Blues are pretty good in that middle range, and I'm okay with it. End of the draft for iffy. 3 first rounders and a backup is fair in that case. I would take a first round this year, first round next year, a top end prospect, and the backup goalie. I'd be okay with that. And a veteran backup goalie. Veteran goalie. I'd be okay with that. Right? I'd be okay with that. Kyrie was a second round player. We got him the same way we got Thompson at 26. Tage, I know everybody goes, Tage Thompson wouldn't have been the player here that he was there. He wouldn't have got the opportunities. And I understand that. But oh my goodness, is he a player? And hopefully he can play for Team USA tomorrow. I know he was skating for the I know he was skating for practice. I know he did the morning skate or the practice skate. I know he was out there today. So we'll see. Hopefully he's able to play. Right? Right? I just the Blues are very good in that middle in the middle round, second, third rounds, and they're good in the late areas of finding players. They really are. Right? I mean, I look here and just let's, for example, go to 2014. Fabry in the first round, 21st. Okay, he wasn't a great, but 400 something games. Barbashev, 2-ring Barbashev, right? 642 games played. Wallman, 296 games played. Very useful defenseman. Husso, who we have now, Husso might be out of the league. Or I don't know where Husso is, but Husso was the goalie. So, I mean, we did really well in that draft overall. We've had some bad drafts. We definitely had some bad drafts, right? We've had drafts where I don't know if any player in that draft has actually played for us. I'm looking at one right now, and I don't think this player ever played for us. And I am correct. This player never played for us. So we have a round, a draft, an entire draft that not one player that we drafted played for us. And only one even played in the NHL. Right? Only one even played in the NHL. So I guess that is what it is, right? What are we at here? I think they're talking about Costner. There were many years where the Blues in their playoffs that they drafted middle to the end. Yeah. And Armstrong is very good in that spot. Very, very good. Right? And the highest he's drafted is 10th. And he got and that was the year he got Dvorsky, Stenberg. I put an I in there. I don't know, Stenberg and Lindstrom. And all first rounders, and two of them, I think two of them are superstars, and Lindstrom has the capability to be one, right? But you look at our first round picks, right? You just go to the last few years of our first round picks. Justin Carbonneau. A lot of people think he's going to be in the blue with the Blues next year. Adam Urich is probably going to be with the Blues next year, right? Lindstein, probably with the Blues next year. Snuggerud with the Blues. Bolduc was with the Blues. He's now been traded. Neighbors with the Blues. Alexandrov, he was with the Blues. He's since been he became more of a AHL player, but he was a second round pick, not a first round pick. Dominic Bach was an absolute miss. I think he got injured. I think an injury took him out. Thomas, right? Costin, I'm kind of a miss. Tage Thompson, Vince Dunn, Robbie Fabry, Jordan Schmaltz. Schmaltz iffy, right? I guess Schmaltz could be iffy. Ty Ratty. Ty Ratty was a second. Then you have Schwartz and Tarasenko, 14. Oh, Tarasenko was 16th. Schwartz was 14th. Tarasenko was a 16th round pick, and that was 2010, right? And then you go to the year 2009 where no pick played for the Blues. And this is before, now you're getting in the area that's before Armstrong. So, I think. I'm pretty sure that that's the area before Armstrong. Is what it is. You know, hopefully we'll do better. Right? Hopefully we'll do better. Right? You know, you look at 2007, we had 3 first-round picks, Law Zeller, Ian Cole, and David Perron. 2 of those guys are over 1,000 games. Right? You know what, Jason? You get way into it, man. I'm not that into it. I mean, you know I follow the game, but it does. I don't live or die by it. I try not to anymore. Well, guys, I'm going to call it. There's only a couple people watching, and I just need to get on for a little bit. Talk. I'll enjoy the game. Thank you for listening to me tonight. If you haven't followed the Bluenote Fan Report, please follow the Bluenote Fan Report. We definitely appreciate it. Yes, we've only had one number 1 overall pick. That was Johnson. He just retired not too long ago. Last year. He retired last year. So, I mean, not a Hall of Famer, but did good. I look forward to seeing you guys. I'm not doing the game. I'm too loud. Yeah, I'll be too loud. It's at 3 o'clock in the morning. But Blues hockey on Thursday. I should be here. I love you guys. Have a good one. Aloha.